as I began to open this up today, I want to just say that the feasts of the Lord, because in Christianity we have been taught that these are done away with, that they are no longer relevant to us, that they're just for the Jews. I hope that during the Scroll 1 you have learned that you are a part of Israel. And as a part of Israel, these are a part of the covenant. They are a part of the inheritance that you and I have as sons of the Most High God. And so these belong to us as well. These are the covenants. These are the feasts. These are the promises. These are the gifts of inheritance for us that the Lord has given to us to celebrate in these times. Not only that, the feasts of the Lord are a prophetic blueprint of what was, of what is, and what is to come. Isaiah says that if you want to know the end, go back to the beginning. And that's what we're going to do today. I want to give you bring you an overview of the feasts of the Lord and set this up, and then Yana and myself are going to go into some in-depth teaching about the feasts of the Lord and look at those and see what they mean for us, not only what was, what is, but what is to come, and show you a few things in scriptures that perhaps you haven't thought of, or again, because of your training, you haven't been trained to look at these things because you don't know what the feasts of the Lord are. So we're going to talk about those particular things. So today is an overview, and we will just look at the feasts of the Lord. All 7 of them, although there are a couple, if I have time at the end, I'm going to mention those so that you can have a better understanding of where these things are at, how they operate, and in the upcoming days we'll take you into some more in-depth places that they're found in the Word as well as teaching. So let's start off with Leviticus 23:1. And it says, the Lord spoke to Moshe saying, so Israel has just come out of Egypt through the season of Pesach. But what maybe we don't understand is that there are 3 feasts right there with Pesach. There's Pesach, there's unleavened, and there's first fruits. They go day 1, day 2, day 3, or day 14, day 15, day 16 if you're looking at it from a calendar perspective. And so by the 3rd day, when the children of Israel were crossing the Red Sea, it was a feast. But you don't know that unless you understand the feast of the Lord. So we're going to look at this and begin to unravel some things. So they've just come out of Israel, or out of Egypt. They're they've crossed the Red Sea. They're in the wilderness now, and the Lord comes to them. He marries them, Exodus chapter 20, and chooses them for his kingdom of priests and kings and a holy people, a nation that has been set apart to do specific things in the world, not only then, but today and to come. And so he spoke to Moshe saying, speak to the people of Israel, Bnei Israel, the sons of Israel, and say to them, these are the appointed feasts of the Lord that you shall proclaim as holy convocations. They are my appointed feasts. So let's just stop right here and understand the words here. These are the appointed feasts of who? The Jews? Is he just the God of the Jews? Or is he the God of Israel, who is Jew and Gentile, as we have learned in the mystery of Israel? And so he said, these are the appointed feasts of the Lord that you shall proclaim as holy convocations. They are my feasts, is what he says. They're his feasts. And he's giving them to us. And we must understand this gift is something that he desires for every one of us to begin to celebrate. And so here we go. Let's look at the word appointed. The word appointed is, or let me just say this, the word feasts here. There's 2 words in Hebrew for the word feasts. There's the word chag. You got to get that guttural in there. Chag. And that just means like you're going to get together for a huge banquet or a huge meal with a lot of friends or a lot of family, and you're going to have a feast. That's a chag, like a birthday party or an anniversary. It's a celebration. There's going to be a lot of food, a lot of fun, a lot of people, and a lot of laughter. That's a chag. But another kind of a feast is called moed. Moed. And moed means appointment or an appointed time or a sacred season or a set apart appointed time or a sign or a signal. It's interesting in Genesis chapter 1 that he also said in verse 14 that the lights had been placed in the heavens for signs and season, and that word there is moedim, which means feasts. Okay, a set appointed time. In other words, he is setting up an appointment to meet with us at a specific time, and he desires for us to show up. Wow, what an opportunity to meet with the Lord in addition to all the other times that we get to meet with him. In other words, he is coming to us, he is setting this time apart, and we begin to see the fulfillment of the feasts in the spring, and so we understand that the fall feast will be the same way. I've got to move on. The second word I want to look at in Leviticus is the word holy convocation. That word there is kadosh mikra. Kadosh mikra means, of course, it's a holy convocation, but it means a calling together, a sacred assembly, a rehearsal. What? A rehearsal? So what is it? What does this mean? The word picture of moed or moedim, plural, is an ayin and a dalet, and it means see the door of the tent. So the word picture for moed or feasts, appointed, means see the door of the tent. Okay. The word picture for mikra, which means a holy convocation, is a kof and a resh. And this means gathering the men or bring them together for the meeting. So when you put these two words together according to their word picture, it means the men will gather at the door of the tent to go through the door. That's what the feasts are all about. And this is why we understand them as prophetic blueprints. They are showing us, they are an opening to go through so we can understand the end from the beginning.